This is Mike Mozart of the Toy Channel and Jeepers Media on YouTube, bringing you the very first text messaging toy ever for kids. It was called the amazing new Tele-Typer. The Bell Telephone Company made this toy that was sold in the early 1950s that had rolls of paper. And you would plug these into any standard telephone line. This one's brand new. It's never been unwrapped. This one's never been used too. You plug it into a standard telephone line and literally there was a simple device inside that allowed you to send and receive typed text messages on these little strips of paper, which you could cut off and paste onto these phony telegrams. And this has a very unique history for me. The patents ran out on this toy years ago. And in the 1980s and early 90s, I was pitching this to toy companies, telling them that kids would love to be able to send text messages. At the time, cell phones were thousands of dollars a piece, and no kid had one. This went onto a standard phone line. You could easily send a text out, receive a text in, and the toy companies thought, well, it'd be cheap enough to make, it'd be easy to make, but why would a kid want to send a text message if they could call on the phone? That was the common response. No kid would use this if they could simply pick up the phone and send a call. And they said no kid would ever use it. Boy, were they wrong. Well, do you think if this came out in the early 90s before cell phones that kids might have wanted to send text messages? It would have been cheap then too. This toy was very expensive in its time. It'd be like $200 now. But in the late 80s, early 90s, this could have been manufactured and sold for like 25 bucks. It's a very cheap, simple mechanism in here. And it really works. I'm thinking about setting one up and making a longer video about it if anybody cares. Well, what do you think? Do you think they made a mistake? Do you think this would have been a huge hit in the late 80s, early 90s for like 25 bucks? Kids could have sent all the text messages they wanted to. It's too late now. This has been Mike Mozart of the Toy Channel.